10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team, ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah. Oh no. Welcome back to StarLadder Season 9. I'm LD. He's Merlini. Fresh off our show. Here we go. It's a tri-cast today. But yeah, we're going to be casting EG versus Liquid Ben. This is for StarLadder America. I don't know if these standings are 100% up to date because there were some games played earlier. Big shout out to What Is Hip for covering for us while we were busy doing in the studio. Hopefully you enjoyed my stirring rendition of... But yeah, either way, EG versus Liquid, what could potentially be the match that decides the group?
Yeah, I think these two are the top 2 contenders in StarLadder America out of these 8 teams. Evil Geniuses with a perfect record right now. They will have Mason standing in for them while Fear is away. Apparently his arm injury is a little bit worse than we thought, so I think at least for the next few weeks we will see him as a consistent player for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, I know Fear, like you said, he's just decided to take some time off to recover. EG have kind of a long-term view with this, so maybe it hurts the results a bit. Mason's still a very strong player, but of course he's
What happened to him and Team Dog?
I don't know. I think Dota, and I think he said something about like having other commitments or.
But why is he playing for EG?
I don't know. Let's see. Maybe EG is just a better team, right? You know.
I have other commitments, aka better teams.
Well, with that being said, we should go ahead and hop ourselves inside the draft, guys. This will be EG versus Liquid. Munchkin, be quiet, and away we go. So we don't actually have a draft overlay here, but we'll just go in blind. This is what StarLadder gets for not giving us updated titles. They don't get their draft overlay. Ha ha. First overall pick is going to be an Invoker for Liquid, so Bulba will get a Playmaker. I hear that he made waves with when Invoker was first released in Dota 2, nearly 2 years ago at this point. But in terms of bans, pretty standard. I think the one interesting thing is that Visage gets through. Now, I cast with PPD the other day, and he said he thinks Visage should never get through, especially not against teams that like to run it. And EG certainly known for running it for Zai, and of course Cloud9 with AUI 2000.
You should not let Visage through, unless your first pick.
Okay.
And Ember Spirit, I think, is a very good ban out. I think Arteezy's Ember Spirit is better than the other Ember Spirits, and is better than his other heroes, so I think it's a good ban coming out from them. They will go with the Batrider Invoker. That's a pretty strong opener from Team Liquid.
It's just such a flexible opening as well. Like, I guess you know what the lanes are going to be if you're Evil Geniuses, but it doesn't really matter. Invoker is a strong 1v1 hero. Very difficult to gank, especially if he goes cross-wax. Batrider can transition to the jungle, so it's like Liquid have a lot of adjustments available to them if they need to make them. If Bat gets pressured out of lane, he can just rotate jungle, and Invoker, can be flexible with his build. So it's just a very flexible opening.
Yeah,
from Liquid.
and Batrider's good all game, so is Invoker, and Invoker can even go quasi-exort if he wants more late game. And they have multiple ways to initiate, Tornado EMP or just simple Blink Lasso. That's only from the first 2 picks. So already, I kind of like both teams' lineups though, but Clockwork, he's not the best counter-initiator versus Batrider though. He's alright.
This is just some Arteezy respect. Tinker and Shadow Fiend.
Jeez.
He's been making big plays. I don't know if you saw that. There was a clip, like a highlight on Reddit. I think it was from Dream League. One of the big tournaments right now, where Arteezy was about to die. He Ghost Scepters, blinks out, because like they didn't have any nukes left at that point, so it cools down. He blinks out, then he rearms. He Shivas to prevent them from blinking after him, and then he blinks out again. It was like super next level, lived with like 10 health. I mean, the guy's definitely a player, and Tinker definitely a flashy hero that you can make those big plays with.
He is a player indeed. So is Mason going to be playing the carry, or what?
I believe he's just been playing the carry role, yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's been Arteezy mid, PPD and Zai still the supports, Universe still the offlane, so it's mainly just Mason like standing in for Fear, basically.
Yeah, Mason's been playing a little bit of everything. He stood in, or when he played, I think, we saw him in the offlane. Actually, that was Smogalig. He plays mid a decent amount. He likes heroes like Storm Spirit. On the side of Liquid, surprisingly, no players standing in for Quake though. They had Infinity stand at one time. It's like the real late time for EU. What time is it there? Like 1 a.m. now?
It's 8 hours later, so yeah, it's after midnight.
So,
and if you're like in CIS, it's even later.
I think I've casted 2 Liquid games, and both of the times Koikva was standing out. So Team Liquid with their full
He's
roster.
also, I think he's also had some sort of injury, or I'm not sure, but I think he's been like taking some time off, similar to Fear. So
see.
Well, either way, Weaver's the pick for EG. This is a carry they like to run a lot for Fear, and they tend to not draft like true hard carries, like traditional one positions. They'll go for more of like
fighter carries.
Yeah, fighter carries. Lifestealer, Weaver. What else have we seen? Slark. Yeah, we've actually seen them on like even some gankers at times, and not even like carries per se. And that it makes sense when you've got Arteezy. The guy needs space. It's the farm.
Yeah, they're not a 4 protect 1 kind of thing. It's more. I wouldn't even call it like 3 protect 2. It's just like dual core most of the time.
Yeah.
Arteezy and Fear usually carrying through in the late game.
Yeah, when I was casting with PPD, it just kept on me like, yeah, we all just make space for Arteezy until he carries. Like, everyone's just making space. That's so much space.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, which is pretty much what happens. You give him Shadow Fiend mid, OD, he rushes Midas, Naga rushes Radiance. Like, he's Tinker, he's gonna farm until he's 5-6 slotted.
Shadow Fiend.
Yeah. He plays Ricer. So, well, what is left for him at this point? Anything... OD does match up pretty well against Invoker mid. That's an option if they want to run OD.
It's decent versus Batrider too.
Yeah. It's just not a fear that teams like to run. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
That Wraith King.
Is this a support Skeleton King? It's either a support Clock or a support Skeleton King.
I just feel like that hero is so underwhelming as a carry when you're up against these Liquid heroes. Invoker... Also, picking Wraith King's a little risky against Invoker, because that mana burn can just ruin you.
It definitely is. I think like picking him versus an Invoker is one of the scarier things.
And that's where making him a support probably makes more sense, because like, sure, maybe he dies, doesn't have mana, but running him as a core, that could very easily be punished by
But if he gets BKB, then you can kind of shore up that weakness. But yeah, generally you don't want to run Wraith King versus too many mana burns. Clockwork, Invoker, Nyx Assassin, the popular 3, I'd say. Lion is, he's kind of there. Anti-Mage kind of crushes Wraith King. By kind of, I mean very much so.
Yeah, and Anti-Mage this game, Liquid have set up decently where they could look to run it. Here, there's the Wraith King stun, and that's maybe Familiar Stun's hookshot, but I guess they do have some flexibility here with the last pick. Maybe they go for something that has a little more crowd control. One other hero that Arteezy's been playing a lot of lately is the Morphling as well.
Yep.
I like How do you think Morphling matches up this game?
I think he's really good because they don't have any silences. If he gets lasted, he can just tank up, no problem. Yeah. If he gets swapped and stunned, no problem either. He won't do that great versus Invoker, but it'll be good enough. I think Evil Geniuses will tend to do something that is pretty heavy late game. Morphling is the obvious choice. I'm trying to think of any other carries, farmers in the solo mid lane that Arteezy likes to run that aren't banned. There aren't many left. They banned 4 pretty much Arteezy heroes.
What else was he running?
He plays Naga a lot. He plays
the Naga's banned though.
Yeah. So I mean, most of them are banned.
The Morph's banned. Okay, that's 5 Arteezy bans, man.
So what's left? OD. Okay, OD's good enough here.
You don't lifesteal off of the orb though, do you? From the
no, you don't.
No, just from the so it's not quite as good, I guess. But he is also good versus Roche, and with Wraithkane and OD and Familiars, they could take Roche pretty early, potentially. A little tricky against
It's
that.
just out of favor. I think.
That's it. I still think it's a strong hero.
Oh, it's definitely a strong hero. It's just I'm as confused as they are. Well, they do have a minute and a half in the reserve.
It's not often a team will ban 5 heroes that one player runs.
Yeah, we can look at his profile. Let's see. What does he like to run?
Reserve time.
A pretty safe no here.
His top 3 successful heroes: Shadowfeet, Invoker, Nature's Prophet, Naga, Morphling.
Oh boy, this is not what I expected.
What is
he
it?
has run Weaver mid once in a while. He has run Weaver
Oh
mid.
yeah, this is
so
true.
it could be an RTZ Weaver. That's the other possibility.
This was back when he was playing for speed. He used to play Weaver a fair amount.
So Razor, that actually synergizes pretty well with Wraithkane, right? You steal that damage and then you're life stealing it back.
Yeah, at the same time,
nice
it's like
combo.
there's no good hero to use it on, and Liquid hasn't picked their melee carry yet. It will
This
definitely
is a 4-range lineup.
yes, it will definitely dissuade a life stealer pick. So no infest bombs, or very unlikely to be infest bombs. I mean, Team Liquid does have a lot of single target spells. Rubik with 3, Ventral with 2, so the unstable current will be decent. But most Razors go for BKB anyways. Looks like the Drow Ranger will be the last pick. No But Drow Ranger, Silence very good versus Weaver. Other than that, I mean, Wraithkane can just be up in her face, but it looks like it will be a solo mid Razor, a safe lane Weaver, support Wraithkane. So a lot of our questions have been answered.
Well, I do like the Drow in terms of they have 5 ranged heroes, and they have the Venjara, so this team will be packing a punch in theory. Now, the one concern is that whenever you run Drow, you really want to stay away from the enemy teams. Your team gets the bonus damage. Obviously, you're squishy and easily killed off, and that's where if SK gets a Blink Dagger, you've got Clockwork with Hookshot. They've got some gap closers. Even Weaver will just probably look to jump the Drow once he gets the items out, and it will be Mason playing that, so Arteezy will take his talents to the middle lane.
Is he going to play versus Boba?
Maybe they hero swap is the other possibility.
Razor versus Invoker. Seems pretty fair.
Running deep there, man. All right. Well, we'll introduce the teams here now. It's Liquid versus EG, one of the biggest matches for StarLadder America. Only one of the 8 teams StarLadder America. Maybe we'll find out with this game here. You've got Zai handling the support Wraithkane, Mason standing in for Fear, playing that carry Weaver, Universe on the Clockwork, Arteezy will be taking the Razor mid, PPD on the Visage, and then over to Team Liquid, a team that has looked lost at times as of late. We won't get too much into the fluff blog, but they've had some problems, struggling to kind of recapture their identity. You've got way 2 on your Venge here, no longer doing the drafts. TC on the Drow, now he'll spot them out, should be able to back off. Fluff playing the Rubik though, drops the ward there.
Did they see him place the ward? Did they have sentries?
I think someone saw him, because they had a...
No one has sentries though.
They'd someone I forget who it was now, but they'd someone up the cliff who saw him. But yeah, no sentries anyway. And, well, TC on the Drow, I already mentioned. We've got Bulba going mid. Boots first, Exhort Invoker. He is expecting to get roamed on hard. Well, I guess the Boots is just for the Razor then. He wants to be able to break the link easier. You know, it used to be that, like, when we saw a lot of OD Razor mid, OD players started going Boots so that they could break the link easier. Then Razor players started going Boots so that the link couldn't be broken so easily. But Arteezy hasn't gone Boots, so this could turn out to be a problem for him in terms of stealing a lot of damage.
He's still decently strong even without Static Link. I think Plasma Field's a very underrated nuke in that mid lane.
Yeah, there was a period where players were just, like, skipping the nuke entirely. Against OD, you know, you might not have mana, so you just skip it. Unstable current in the Static Link, but... Well, he's not against OD this game, so... It's also where I'm interested to see how strong Liquid get in the mid-game. If they do get their items up, Ben, they have... Here, just from the Drow Aura, the Venge Aura, as well as the Forge Spirit. So Liquid have a lot of damage. My only concern is can they stay alive?
They have a very good road lineup. Looks like Quickfo will get stunned down here already.
He's got boots. He should be okay, but he hasn't skilled Firefly yet. He really... just reluctant to use it, I guess. Well, he goes into the trees. Now he'll be forced to pop it.
I don't
know why he decided to take so much damage there.
If he had a salve, maybe, but yeah, he took a lot of damage, didn't
and he used
really
it anyway.
Yeah.
That hurts. Here, we have not seen Liquid... You know, one thing that teams have done with Bat in the past is Firefly over these trees to break it so that he can't stack creep stack there, but we're not seeing it. And actually, he's forced to block the wave really far back.
A critical HP range, only using one of his 4 tangos. Looks like EG will have the better ward placement though at the start. This one not spotted out by the sentry, and the Radiant supports will not have access to that pool, and they don't really have any good junglers too, so they may very well be underleveled if they can't get any early kills. Razor actually going for the non-static link build.
To walk in mid, but there's a Dire Observer ward here. He's already been spotted anyway, as it is daytime, and he might try to harass Arteezy, but no, he can't really do much. Arteezy's like, what are you up to, buddy? You're level 1 Rubik. Come at me.
It's or 5 strength leather, so very unlikely to die early, especially versus an Exort Invoker. You're not really scared until he gets like maybe level 4-ish.
Yeah, and we'll see. But for so far, it does appear to be. I guess the thing with the Exort build this game is they're more just counting on it for like the aura, where you just get like the familiars in the mid game. You can pop the Drow and just push really hard, but
taking a line,
they don't have much synergy for the Sunstrike. Actually pulls Arteezy in here. Static Link, I feel like that might have been a kill opportunity for Arteezy. Have it, so. But yeah, there's not. I was just thinking, like, there's not really much Sunstrike setup. I guess there's the Venge stun, the Rubik stun, but.
Lasso.
Yeah, but that's more like mid game oriented, even. Because this Rubik and Venge do want to get their levels up.
Mm-hmm. And
pretty level dependent.
No one's really getting levels on Liquid. Koikba still sitting at level 1, Venge sitting at level 2, just at level 2, and Rubik sitting at level 2. He does have an invisibility rune, still trying to harass out Arteezy, but Arteezy's at full HP. He does have 1 level unstable current, so I don't think they can kill him.
I mean, what do you think about their decision making here? Because most teams in this situation would just start stacking the jungle. Like, sure, they saw EG go into their woods, but they know that they didn't cross this line. Like, they definitely didn't go, you know, in deep into the woods. So there's at least 2 camps to stack. And I guess they've had some trouble with the failed D ward, as you mentioned, but I guess Arteezy's playing a bit more defensively, but he's getting his levels. He's still 8-1. I don't feel like Fluff is doing enough to justify this.
Yeah, Arteezy is still out-leveling Boba too, just by a tiny bit. And maybe if they can get a kill opportunity, but Arteezy's not really trading harass with Boba. He's still sitting at 700 HP. I think they need to get him down to like the 500 HP range.
Look at this, man. They're just so...
Everybody.
This is a hate train. They banned 5 of the man's heroes. Way to make this rotation. And Arteezy comes in, he's like, hello, buddy. Universe is here. This is going to be your first bullet. There's cogs available. Way too. Nothing to do but just beat away a kill.
Rotate 4 heroes in and still give up first blood.
And yeah, and the top lane's pushing as well. So there's some experience being missed here. Although it looks like they did another pull to draw back.
I don't think it's that important to shut down a Razor this early.
It's important to shut down Arteezy in general, but this is not really an Arteezy hero, right? It's more Snowball hero. It would make a lot of sense, but he's Razor. Razor's not that simple.
And he went a defensive build too with the early unstable current.
That's true.
I mean, it's just not easy to kill him. And it's not that important. You still have to worry about this Weaver. You still have to worry about everybody pulling on top. Wraith King already at level 3. Visage getting there. And their supports are just going to be, like, they're not going to have their ultimates until maybe like 12 minutes.
It's not just changes. The supports, it's the
Koikba on Arteezy.
Yeah, he picks up a haste, but nothing he can really do against the Razor. If you run on him, he just starts stealing your damage. They haven't stacked the woods a single time for him. It's already 4 minutes in. These could be quad stacks, but he's got nothing. This one's gonna be a success. Boba eats a stun to the face. Damage being stolen. No points at Wax, and he'll go down. It's off the cold snap here. Maybe the Forge Spear can get the kill. Zai on the way out, but that early SK rotation, much more effective, and it only took 1 hero.
Yep. And Koikba's coming back to mid, but now he won't be able to stack, it looks like. So, yeah, all in all, this Liquid early game is going very, very poorly. Already we see 2,500 experience lead and a 1,500 gold lead for EG. Meanwhile, top is just completely uncontested. And can Drow Ranger really do that much? I don't think so. I don't like Drow.
Closers. They'll have an SK with a blink eventually, I imagine. They already have the Clockwork. And the Weaver,
I feel like there's like always gap closers though.
Yeah, like what game of Dota doesn't have them? But if they do, then that's where Drow's just kind of
She's okay. She's like not terrible.
She needs so much farm to win like 1v1s as well.
Yeah.
Which is why you see players like Envy, they just go for the, like, I'm never going to be near an enemy hero build unless I'm chasing them with Mask of Madness, Blink Dagger, but
Midas.
Good luck staying away from Weaver and Clockwork, let alone potentially the Blink-S. Wraith King, yeah. I keep on calling him Skeleton.
She's also just, I mean, she gets HOD, doesn't really synergize that well with her orb. I mean, you can, like, hit it on and off, but I don't know. It's just, there's something I don't like about that hero. But
I did like the change to Gust. It gives her, like, a slight reposition, but it's still not enough. The hero just feels underwhelming. And, Quakefa's gonna miss his stack now, so I think they'll just barely, they'll get this up, but it's Golem, so on top of just poor efficiency from Liquid, now they've got some... Missing the one stack here for Quakefa, getting Golems here. Already they're down 3,000 experience. This isn't... They've given up 2 kills, and they're down 3k experience. That is a ridiculous deficit for this early in the game.
And they have the worst late game, too.
Relax, they're on the dire side. They know they've got the SKR, they'll have familiars later on. They can go for Roche fairly early this game if they take a few effective fights, and you look at their offlaner, Universe is level 5, so he's getting his levels up. Jump in and start the fight, so yeah, Liquid they have their backs up against it already, and we're only 6 minutes in.
Yeah, I think a lot of it just stemmed from that early level 1 smoke where they gain control of Liquid's jungle before the creeps even spawn, because it forces supports to do something that they don't want to do, which is try and get a kill on a very difficult to kill hero in mid, and not just get easy levels, not get easy stacks for Batrider.
Stack these camps though.
Oh, he missed a stack here too, so yeah, just a lot of things not going well.
Bottom lane, there is a stun here, they initiate on Fluff. In comes the Drow Silence, the Gust, but it's just not enough. And Quakefa will be next, it looks like there's another stun. He pops his Firefly, the Golden Roshan flies by as he watches the bat burn. But, well, what does Drow do here? Tries to finish her Midas and not die, I guess.
But even with her Midas, like, there's...
Methinks you wanted that.
Right now, they need a blink on Batrider, which is not coming anytime soon. They need big items on Invoker. He's also going for Midas, and I think that EG, they have a lineup that they can just continually exert pressure on Liquid and not really let them farm up with the Midas and catch up. I mean, look at these two supports. Look how aggressive.
And it's a lot because they just know how poor Liquid are, and I like this a lot from EG. They're ahead. Let's get even more ahead. The Midas comes out now. Some Artosis Dota from EG. Meanwhile, they'll dive mid. In comes I with the stun. The Plasma Field, I think, just barely missed him on the way to the axe, but Bulba will still fall. Doesn't matter. Easy kill.
King?
I think he's a very good roaming support. He's tankier than heroes like Bench. He still does a lot of... His nuke is quite strong compared to other stuns because it's got the slow component as well. So I think he's in...
Ven? As a roamer?
He's definitely I feel he's just an awful carry though. Like, maybe you could run in like the way CIS do and China is just like a frontline tank more than a carry, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel he's mostly...
His role's just different.
Yeah. Not a huge fan of the Wraith King, but they're making it work. We've been wrong before. Maybe we'll be wrong with
this.
He's
good versus Doom.
Yeah, he's the Doom counter, man. Yeah, that's true. Offensively, they're playing. They're 4 heroes bottled up mid, and this leaves TC on an island bottom, and he's about to die, it looks like. I just fought his Midas. Observer gets plopped down, and the Rocket scouts him out. Will there be a quadruple TP reaction? It ain't gonna matter. They'll just melt. Easy hero to bring down. And
he did spend his gold before he died.
Yeah, he bought the Midas, but this is a lot of value being lost, not actually using it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Just a free TP, man. It works out beautifully. Not so beautiful for Liquid. Things are not sunny right now in Liquid land.
Over under on when they get their first kill.
And they'll have...
Has anyone even really been that low?
They'll have the Blink Dagger. Like, at some point they'll get a kill.
Oh, I know. I was just wondering over under.
I would say within 2 minutes after the Blink is picked up.
That's a long time.
Yeah, like 13, 14 minutes.
Bottom tower is under attack.
1,200 gold to boot.
Yeah, he's had it. This was the second usage, I believe, so that was a very fast Midas.
Does this point?
I mean, like you mentioned, EG took over their jungle, but they kept control over it. They've actually driven the Drought off the bottom lane. Bulba's afraid to go into the woods, and so they're tri-laning top. Now they're under-leveled support. It could go poorly if there's a rotation, which there is right now. Arteezy comes in, Invoker has just picked up his Midas, and they're gonna smoke to try and retreat quicker. Liquid know they're in trouble. The smoke barely gets them out of range. But in comes Arteezy regardless. The slow's there on Fluff. Now out comes the Swarm. And
did he just drag him towards him?
Oh boy. Well, the dive continues. TC will be next. Drow, just such food. Oh boy.
Indeed. They're in a lot of trouble.
And they just blew a smoke to try and escape and still lost too as well.
It could have been worse.
They have two Midases, but EG have a Midas of their own, and EG are going to start taking towers now. And once these towers start falling, as Bulba could be next on the list, Zai thinking about a stun. The Drow Silent Snoop comes out there, but Bulba... It is going to connect, but it's spread evenly between two. Now Koikba dragging one in, but he's going to throw his life away. Arteezy posting up, now trying to avoid the flames as he retreats back out. Need a heal here. A lift in PPD, but already there's an SKO. He can go ham here. Peasants. Flow, and now the stun will follow, and that's another easy kill. Another peasant crushed beneath the Wraith King's boot.
I like his voice acting. Have you played him recently and heard his voices? It's pretty fun.
Did they change it from Skeleton King?
I'm not sure. Because
I liked the old Skeleton King acting.
Yeah, it was pretty good. He has some good lines.
Oh, that's an ugly ass map.
I think it's one of the new sets.
Okay.
He has a big...
Like, I don't see how Liquid contest this. No Blink Dagger on the bat. No Cosmix Invoker to control around the pit. Have to forfeit a Roche. Whenever EG wants it, it's there for the taking.
Goldley's only 10,000.
The way you delivered it, I was like, wait, I've got to do a double take here. Yeah, only 10k at 11 minutes. It's almost the vaunted 1,000 gold deficit per minute accrued mark.
Yeah.
That is the sign of just getting crushed, but... They can turn this around. And they don't have their bat blink yet. In fairness, they have a very good damage-based lineup with the auras, so if they can somehow protect the Drow, they'll hit hard, but... EG, it's pretty much just this guaranteed roach starting their way. Liquid could try to fight this. This could go very poorly. Already there's a drums out of an Arteezy. Expeal is up as well. A lot of early to mid-game items. They will smoke, go for the Weaver here, but it's a level 4 Rubik. Can't even spell steal. Just drops the sentry. They'll throw the Sunstrike. It isn't enough. And now he's going to turn around. This will be at least one support dead. Wait till he's going to TP out. Fluff, no TP. He'll fall. And it just completely backfires. And they get a rush as well. GG's way.
11-0.
I don't really... I guess maybe they figure with Sunstrike they'd have the burst to bring down Mason, but... That's a level 4 Rubik.
Yep. A blink now.
Yeah, like, who's he gonna initiate on? If he goes in, Wraith King's obviously a bad target, although his ult is on cooldown, but...
Tower is under attack.
I don't... The burst for the Weaver is possible with the lasso, but...
They have silence follow too. Weaver's probably the best, but you definitely don't want to go into Razor.
He's got Aegis.
He has Aegis and he has Unstable Current.
And Universe probably isn't a good choice here. He's got 1,000 HP and a Force Staff, so...
He probably won't be in a position anyways.
Yeah, he'll be the one looking to start the fight, so...
And Visage has Gravekeepers, and it's just Visage.
There's no easy targets. And the thing is, if Liquid go for a gank, how obvious will it be? You look at EG's map vision right now, all the lanes are pushing past the river now. These ones are all well past it, and the bottom lane's really pushing in, so... Need to find a way to make plays. It looks like at this point, they kind of want to get their level 6 on the Rubik, just farm TC up, but they'll smoke now. They'll go for something here. The Forge Spirits. It's up as well. Who are they going to run into, though? That's the question.
King.
Even with the Weaver, they've got to get the jump on him before he's able to time-lapse back or Sakuchi out.
Do they have dust? They have sentries on the Vengeful, but that's it.
Yeah, and even with the dust, he can always just time-lapse out of it.
Vincere already TPing top, anticipating a gank. Mason in. Ooh.
This could work out pretty well. There's 5 heroes top. Maybe Liquid will get that big kill they desperately need. Mason. Oh boy, he's already Sakuchi. The sentries get plopped down. He has been cold set. The magic missiles there as well, but he just time lapses out, turns the fight, and now Liquid are in a headlong retreat. Bulba marching back. He'll drop an ice ball here, try to run, try to live. While meanwhile, the Batrider has lassoed in universe, but he's still alive. He won't fall here. Liquid not the best focus fire. The Rubik also fell on the back.
Why didn't he lasso the Weaver? I thought he was going to lasso the Weaver and get a kill.
I think they thought they had him. No, you know what it was? He got fogged. They dropped the sentry a second late, and Weaver was already out of Sakuchi range. Then they magic missiled him, cold snapped him, and I'm not sure why he didn't last him at that point. Because like right around here.
Yeah, I know he got fogged. So yeah, I thought they could get him like as he was getting burst down with magic missiles. But still, 14 minutes in, Liquid still killless.
They just look lost. This is my first time testing Liquid in a long time.
They've been kind of looking like this for a while. I thought that Fluff being reinstated as captain would change things around. I'm actually lagging a little bit, but I don't know. Oh, man,
it's BTS internet on the way up.
It's ugly, man.
It's not lagging for me. So maybe you should get your ship together.
Come on now.
Well, they're pushing top, and they've got this SK here, balling out of control already. He's almost got a Sanj up. 2 heroes push through the mid. EG.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
A pub stomp, honestly. They're up 13-0. Liquid, you asked when will they get on the board, LD, and the answer is they may not get on the board unless EG feeds.
Oh, man. Maybe they want to get 1 kill before the game is over.
This has to be one of the ugliest Liquid performances. And just in terms of like how one-sided the game has been, taken away from EG, but they're using a stand-in too.
Yeah.
This is painful to witness.
It's very painful. Well, they wanna leave with some honor. Oh, well, huddling up their base. They have 1 T2 left.
Don't worry, you're not missing a whole lot right now.
Roshan will expire in a couple of minutes, but maybe they can drag someone up the cliff in the T3 and get some kills. Well, they're smoked again. Here they go.
Is going to be successful. Mid lane's pushed into the base. There's an observer war top. So if Liquid aren't showing heroes in the lane, EG should realize it within a matter of seconds. And they're going to the enemy woods, but actually EG's just occupied their own jungle. Occupy Liquid's the name of the game here for EG. And they'll start pushing through the bottom lane. It's just looking to make plays at this point. The Lincolns comes out on the Weaver. There's still a tier 1 up mid. And if Liquid don't back off right about now, the feeds could commence. Universe jumps in, but he does get lasso TC. Can he secure the first kill of Liquid's game? He's done it. Universe will fall quick. He goes up, and they just
wanted the
TC
kill.
out. They wanted the kill. They salvage the game in that sense. They get at least an unblemished record of BGs broken, and Liquid just call it. 20,000 deficit in gold.